Hello everyone, welcome to the final screencast for Chapter 7, and we're going to be looking at approval voting. All right. So, just to remind you on approval voting, this is a group of voters, Group 2. There are 12 of them, and they strictly prefer Baby Ruth to Lindt Truffles. They strictly prefer Lindt Truffles to Skittles. They strictly prefer Skittles to Reese's Cups, and they strictly prefer Reese's Cups to Hot Tamales. And now this green shading, which we've ignored for all the other voting rules, is going to matter, because the green shading means it's above their threshold for approval. They approve of that and will vote yes for it. For things below the green, that are not shaded green, I should say, they will vote no for those. All right. So for example, 18 people will vote yes for hot tamales out of Group 1 because they approve of it. So I'm just going to go through each of these and show you how to do the approval vote. So let's take hot tamales. There are 18 people who vote yes, so it gets 18 votes. The rest of the groups vote 0 for it. It's below their threshold. So the vote total for hot tamales is 18 plus 0 plus, let me show you this way. It's 18 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 18. There are 18 votes under approval voting for hot tamales. What about Baby Ruth? All right. Well, for Baby Ruth, these groups vote 1, and these two groups are going to vote 0 for Baby Ruth. So I'm going to get 0 from Group 1, 12 from Group 2, 10 from Group 3, 0 from Group 4, 4 votes from Group 5, right here, and 0 votes from Group 6. So if you add that up, 12 plus 10 plus 4, you get 26 votes under approval voting for Baby Ruth. For Reese's Cups, notice Reese's Cups gets 0, 0, and then it's going to get 10, 9, 0, and 2. All right, so that's what we see over here. 10 plus 9 plus 2 is 21. For Skittles, here's Skittles. It's going to get 18 plus 12 plus 10 plus 9 plus 4 plus 2. So Skittles is above everybody's threshold in terms of the approval voting. So Skittles is going to get a lot of votes, 55 votes. Everyone approves of Skittles. Last is Lindt Truffles. Notice Lindt Truffles also is above everyone's threshold for approval voting. So Lindt Truffles is also going to get 55 votes. So the alternative with the highest vote total wins. Here, approval voting returned us a tie. This is an issue with approval voting. If you need a uniquely decisive group choice, approval voting might not be the voting rule you want to go with. Often groups will come up with some sort of tie-breaking procedure, like they'll flip a coin, or they might run plurality or majority. Of course, it's only 2 alternatives. They might run majority again over the 2, but they would have some sort of tiebreaker. But the most common tiebreaker to use with approval tends to be just flip a coin, because it's weird to do approval voting and then flip over to doing something like plurality. But you know, there's no rules on what the tiebreaker has to be. All right, that is it. That is the last of the voting rules. And remember, the big moral of the story here is to show you that this same group of voters with the same preferences had a different group choice depending upon the voting rule that I used, depending on the preference aggregation mechanism that was used. So how could we say what this group wants? What would be the normative claim if I wanted to say this group wants hot tamales, right? I don't know, because depending on how you aggregate the votes, you get a different group choice. All right, that's it for Chapter 7.